ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe.
BB-8, which is actually really cute and. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another SH Figuarts action figure review on the Bandai Tamashii Nation's Avengers Age of Ultron movie figure of the Hulk. Looking at the packaging over here, I like how we get this transparent plastic. You get the Avengers logo right over there, you get fist bump, and then you get the Avengers right there. Then on the side you can see the Hulk figure, Avengers logo again, and then you get the 3 images here, the figure again. And then on the side you get the big picture of the Hulk, and then on the bottom not much going on. Alright, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Hulk out of the packaging, and I must say right off the bat, to be totally honest with you guys, I am very disappointed in this figure. I'm just not a fan. I think the high price point, man, it just kills it. On top of that, the paint apps. I'm not happy with the color choices. The color palette for this Hulk figure, I just think it's just too vibrant, too bright. It's almost yellowish colored. I don't like that, and I don't like how we don't get a very smooth gradient over here in these shadowed areas. I'm not really digging that. You get some big gaps with the articulation. The screaming head sculpt, I just think just doesn't look good. So I'm bummed out, honestly. It's a very expensive figure, and I really like Figuarts for the most part, but this Hulk figure is a disappointment. Anyway, let's take a closer look. So for interchangeable parts, we get 2 head sculpts, and then we get 2 pairs of hands. We get the 2 fisted hands right over here, and then we get these 2 open hands. As you can see, these head sculpts aren't even the same color green. Angry face over here is a lot more green than super angry face. This has a little bit more yellow in it, and especially looking at the side right over there. So yeah, of course, out of the 2 of these, I like this one more. But still, he has blue eyes. I don't like that. I don't like that they gave him blue eyes. I don't like how the mouth is sculpted on this either. I think the hair's done okay, but there's no color variation or anything like that, which isn't a big deal. And the paint apps are solid. I just don't like the color palette and the way these teeth came out here. I don't know. And there's no lips on them, you know what I mean? So they just totally left out the lips altogether. And then on this one, oh god, I'm just really not digging this. And most angles too, because the head doesn't really look up. You're stuck looking at it mostly like this, so you cannot see his top row of teeth over there. That is very, very small. So it looks like he's just missing a lot of teeth, and I just don't like how this looks. I'm not happy with this. For the most part, the hands look pretty good. I feel like they could have made the thumbnails or just the hands a little bit bigger, you know? I don't know, just seeing the tiny fingernails over here. It looks a little strange to me, but, you know, not a big deal. I guess it still looks alright. It's a pretty nitpicky thing to look at. Now, removing the head sculpts and switching the hands out is very easily. They just peg in very nicely like so. So that's pretty good. And I think the proportions are pretty good as far as the size of the head to the rest of the body. You know, I think that looks pretty solid. Blue eyes, it still frustrates the hell out of me. And I just really don't like the color green that they chose here. I don't know. You can tell me that it's 100% accurate to the film. I don't care. I just don't like how this looks. I'm holding this in hand and I'm just really not digging it. And I think the sculpt is okay. There's things I like about it. Of course, things I don't like. You know, we have some nice muscle definition right over here and some veins, and they made sure to get those man nipples right there on the Hulk. Very detailed nipples right there. I don't like how the abs look. I think his abs are supposed to be a lot wider and longer looking. This very much reminds me of some anime, just the way these are sculpted out over here. I mean, what am I supposed to expect with that, really? You know what I mean? It is a Japanese import. One of the biggest bummers for me about this figure, though, is very early on, got some paint chipping right there in the crotch. That frustrates the hell out of me, because as you can see, I can move this leg up just fine, but you could hear it, and that sucks, and it's kind of happening right in there too, so that really bums me out. This being a Figuarts figure, I thought that the leg could move up more than that, you know what I mean? That's very, very limited for an SH Figuarts. It doesn't have that hinge thing in the hip. The wrinkles look pretty good though, and I think the paint, for the most part on the pants, looks very clean. You get your little Avengers logo right there with some nice silver paint. That looks pretty solid. I'm liking that a lot. And same thing on this side right over here. And the wrinkles in the pants and the wrinkles in the butt look pretty good. And then there's his calves looking alright. Here's the Hulk toes. Looking okay, you know. And I think the toenails look small for some reason. I don't know why. Or they're too clean. That's what's bothering me about these. He needs to have some like grime and chips and stuff like that in the toenails. These are too clean. Yeah, that's what's bothering me about those. And then underneath right here, it looks all right. And looking at the back of the figure, you know, you get some nice wrinkles right there in the elbows. I don't like how the paint looks on the back, you know, and there's some other parts of the figure where I don't like how it looks like you go from green to yellow. It looks like it kind of jumps instead of fades. I mean, it does fade a little bit, but I just don't think it's a subtle enough transition, you know. So yeah, and on the ab section and right here, I'm just not really feeling it. Now, as far as articulation goes, I find it to be frustrating, to say the least. Really, his head does not move up. And I think that's a huge disappointment for a Japanese import figure. And I did get a little bit of scuffage right here on the back. I'm not going to blame the figure for that. That's my fault, but it still sucks that it's there. Anyway, you can't get the head to move down that much. You also get side-to-side movement over here, which is pretty good. And you get a lot of neck pivot right there, so that's awesome. You get an armpit joint that moves in and out, only that much. Then the shoulder, you can shift it up and down after you move the arm outward, and you can move it all the way outward that much, so that's pretty good. And you can get it to move forward very far as well, but it doesn't move inward. I don't like the gapage over here. This bothers me a lot. Like I said earlier, it's like you get this punch and then you get this huge gap right here, or you do anything where you move the arms up at all and then boom, you get a gap. So I wish they had a slidey thing or something like that to make this a little bit more hidden. You do get rotation around over here, so that rotates, which is pretty good. And you also get the double jointed elbow that allows a 90-degree bend. You get a wrist swivel and it hinges all the way around. You can move it side to side too. He does have a diaphragm joint that moves side to side over here. It does crunch forward and it does crunch back. You do get a great amount of pivot. His waist joint only shifts left and right that much. You get no pivot or crunching at the waist. His legs can move outward pretty far. You can move them outward that much. And then again, with the leg joints, you can move this one that far forward and this one only that much forward without, you know, ruining it. Oh, that frustrates the hell out of me. Anyway, you get an upper thigh swivel. You get double jointed knees that move in that much. Then the ankles move down. They move up. You get the ankle pivot and you get toe articulation. For an import figure, this Hulk figure isn't short. He's standing at about 8¼ inches tall. Then here's our Figuarts Age of Ultron Hulk next to the Marvel Legends Age of Ultron Hulk and the Marvel Select Age of Ultron Hulk. And you can see how much brighter this guy is compared to these two over here. And on top of that, I have my overhead lights right here shining on the left and right side of this review station. So these guys are both getting more light and this guy is still much brighter. Out of the three of these, I definitely like the paint on the Marvel Select one most. And then here's Figuarts Hulk next to the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure, and I think the scale actually works okay for this. So if you prefer this figure over here more so than the Marvel Legends version, you can get that to work. Then here's Age of Ultron Hulk next to Age of Ultron Captain America, and I think these fit into scale together. I like this figure so much more than this one right over here, and the answer is yes, Hulk is my favorite Avenger, which is another reason why I'm probably so frustrated with this figure. And I do have Mark 45 Iron Man on pre-order at BBTS, so I'll review that as soon as I get it. And then here's Hulk next to the SH Figuarts Broly, and this figure right here is one reason why I was so excited for this one. They killed it with this figure. I love this figure. I love these ball jointed shoulders over here. You don't get that huge gap thing going on with the Hulk figure, so I thought they're going to give this figure a similar kind of treatment, both of them being huge bulky characters, but no. Then here's SH Figuarts Hulk next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Trying to show me up with your crappy paint apps, huh? No! So I really don't know what else to say about this figure. Like, look at this pose right here, man. This is not a very dynamic pose, and you get this huge gap over here. I really wish this piece could slide out a little bit more. I mean, you know, and the paint, I'm not happy about that. So for me, I would consider this a big time letdown. I'm just very disappointed. Anyway, I hope you guys aren't disappointed in the review, though. If you aren't, check any of these boxes over here out for more Shart in your face. If you like the stop motion stuff, please check out the Patreon account. Your help is much appreciated. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go to marvelousnews.com for the latest in Marvel-related news and a photo gallery of images from this review. I'll catch you guys later. Please.
That's crispy.
So whenever that comes in, I will ship it over and we'll